Horlicks Network 18, Mission Poshan, Bhavishya Roshan.
Let's now go over to Shireen Bhan, who is joining us all the way from San Francisco in the United States. Hello, Shireen. Bright and sunny morning there.
Hi, Ritu. Good morning from San Francisco. But yes, there's lots of action back in India, specifically to do with the Enforcement Directorate. Former Finance Minister Chidambaram was quizzed by the Enforcement Directorate for almost 7 hours today. Now, remember, Mr. Chidambaram has already secured an anticipatory bail in this particular matter. What we are given to understand is that the Enforcement Directorate was grilling Mr. Chidambaram about a case that dates back to 2006, when Malaysia's Maxis secured the government clearance to invest in Indian telecom company Aircel. The investigating agencies allege irregularities in the foreign investment clearance given by the then UPA government when Mr. Chidambaram was the finance minister. Chidambaram, as I pointed out, has secured anticipatory bail from a special court which has ruled that he cannot be arrested till the 10th of July. Let's go across now to our colleague Timsy Jaipuria. She's been at the Enforcement Directorate office tracking the developments. Timsy, 7 hours that the former finance minister was quizzed by the Enforcement Directorate. This is a matter that's been going back and forth for several years now. What did the ED ask him?
Well, that's right. Former Finance and Home Minister P. Chidambaram was questioned by the Enforcement Directorate for nearly 7 hours regarding his involvement in the Aircel Maxis money laundering case. Now, sources have indicated that he was being questioned by the ED officers on his role in the grant of FIPB approval. Why did he give the FIPB clearance? Why did the deal not go to CCEA? Why did Chidambaram suggest to break the 3,500 crore deal into small deals of 600 crore each? Now, just to remind our viewers, ED had issued fresh summons to Chidambaram to appear before the investigating officer of the case, as he's being alleged to have given FIPB clearance to the Aircel Maxis deal illegally. ED has already questioned his son Karti Chidambaram twice on this case. Meanwhile, sources also indicated that during the questioning, he was cooperative with the officials and he has sought some more time to answer some of the questions which were posed to him during the first round of questioning. The ED is likely to call him again for a further set of questioning round. Let's see when is this planned and how soon Chidambaram gets back to the questions that he was asked to answer today. Back to you.
All right, Timsy, appreciate you joining us with that. Timsy Jaipuria there on the Enforcement Directorate questioning the former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram. But let's talk about another important development, and that is India and China's trade deficit widening to a whopping $63 billion. And all of this in the context of the fact that we are now moving closer to the Regional Cooperation Economic Partnership Agreement, or the RCEP. Now, what we are given to understand is that this is the highest trade deficit that we've seen in the last 5 years. In fact, Ritu Bhuyan has been tracking this story and these developments. Let's go across to him. Ritu, this comes in the wake of the RCEP negotiations, now 5-year high in terms of the trade deficit. What are you being told?
China over UAE as India's largest trading partner in FY14. However, bilateral trade between India and China have been heavily skewed. Just look at the export numbers here. If you look at the value of our exports to China, you will see that they are yet to recover to the level seen in FY14. This in spite of a 31% growth that we saw in FY18. China's share of India's exports in India's exports basket has been between the range of 3.5% to 4% in this period. Now let's look at the import numbers, and you will see that the pace of increase in imports has been far more rapid. From $51 billion in FY14, we are now at $76.3 billion in FY18. And as a result, India's trade deficit has almost doubled in this 5-year period. And this has happened in spite of India imposing the highest number of anti-dumping measures against China. Last but not the least, if you look at the breakup of 97 broad sectors, 2 sectors stand out when it comes to India-China trade, and that is machinery and electronics. These 2 sectors account for about 50% of China's imports into India in FY18. And in the past 5 years, we have seen imports of machinery and electronics double from the levels seen in FY14 to what we saw in FY18.
Right, thank you for that, Rituparna. So how alarming is the widening of India's trade deficit with China? Parikshit Luthra spoke to Anil Vadhwa, a former secretary at the Ministry of External Affairs in charge of India's eastern neighbours. He believes that India should not slash its duties and that the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, is not balanced.
Certainly, I mean, this is a concern. It's been a rising concern over the last few years. Chinese trade deficits have been rising with many countries. If you look around the world, you'll find most of their major trading partners are facing a similar situation. US is a case in point as well. Of course, as far as we are concerned, if we export about 1/6 of what we import, then that becomes a major concern to a country like India. In a phase in which we are trying to concentrate on Make in India, in a phase in which we need to consolidate and make sure that our economy moves ahead, it's important that we address these concerns and take them up very squarely with the Chinese.
Has the response been right so far, sir? Positive so far?
Well, I think the last round of bilaterals which we had with the Chinese, these concerns were put forth in a very candid manner. There has been some amount of progress, although if you look at the joint statements by the two sides, it really doesn't seem that the two sides are talking about similar issues. But at the same time, there have been some change, for example, in our exports in key commodities like diamonds, like copper, for instance. Cotton will receive a shot in the arm because cotton imports from of the Chinese imports from USA are going down. So therefore, India offers an alternative. But most importantly, I think, is the pharmaceutical sector, where generic drugs from India have not been able to make much headway into the Chinese market, mainly because of protectionism. And that issue has been squarely taken up, as you know.
Do you feel there needs to be a greater push from the Indian side to somehow address this trade deficit?
Yes, of course, there has been a greater push, greater realization, and I think in India everyone realizes the need to bridge this deficit as much as possible.
Well, Ashok Vadhwa there on the widening trade deficit that India has with China at $63 billion, a 5-year high. But let's talk about a big story that's playing out here in the US, and that has to do with Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks. He's led Starbucks for almost 40 years, taken the stock about 21,000 times since its initial public offering in 1992. A man who's known for his leadership skills, somebody who's supported and backed the cause of veterans, provided college tuitions to employees, etc. There is now a possibility, or at least the speculation rife, that as he steps down from his post at Starbucks, could he consider the possibility of running for office? Here's Howard Schultz in a CNBC exclusive on what Citizen Schultz could perhaps do.
All right, that's Howard Schultz there on running for the US presidency, leaving things pretty open there. But back home here in Mumbai, the city may face heavy rains in less than 48 hours from now. The Met Department expects monsoons to hit the maximum city at least 3 days before schedule. But how are the rain gods holding up in other parts of India? Southwest monsoon has covered most parts of coastal and south interior Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and parts of northeastern states already. Here's a report from SkyMet with more.
Hi, I'm Fawzia. Welcome back to SkyMet Weather Report. After recording heavy rains on Monday, it was a dry day for Mumbai on Tuesday. Good rains were confined to South Konkan and Goa, Odisha and coastal Andhra Pradesh. Scattered rains were too witnessed over parts of Bihar, West Bengal and northeastern states. Isolated rain and thunder showers were also seen over Jammu and Kashmir on Tuesday evening. Meanwhile, weather across northwestern plains remained hot and humid. Delhi NCR saw day maximum touching 43 degrees Celsius on Tuesday. No relief was seen from ongoing heatwave conditions across Rajasthan and West Madhya Pradesh. Well, this was for the day. Let us now have a look at the weather expected during the next 24 hours. With two cyclonic circulations, one persisting over East Central Arabian Sea and the other over West Central Bay of Bengal off Andhra coast, we expect light to moderate rains to continue along the east coast right from Gangetic West Bengal to coastal Odisha and coastal Andhra Pradesh. While on the west coast, Kerala, Karnataka and Konkan and Goa may see few good spells tonight. 1 or 2 short spells are also likely over Mumbai and adjoining areas on Tuesday night. That's all for now. For accurate weather forecast, stay tuned to skymetweather.com.